don't really want to think too much about anything right now. My head hurts. I've taken iron pills. Okay, one with breakfast, one with lunch. Munchkin is napping. I am doing this. Nap's not going to last long enough for me to work on editing that chapter, and everything has been busy. I finally got the stuffies off the dresser. And the books. And yeah. So there's that. What is this? Oh. Let's not lay on pointy objects. I had the braid clipped up behind my head, trying to stop it from pulling because it causes headaches. So anyway, there's this song I wrote a while back. There's a part of the song that is literally it's its own little call out there. It was literally a song about the question about optimism or pessimism. You know, you go in, you have that stupid ass glass of water, and they ask you, is the glass half full or is it half empty? You just sort of steamroll them with the sheer pointlessness of the exercise, because what does it matter? What did you do with the other half of the water? Did you just put water in the cup? Did you drink it down? What are you gonna do with it? Are you just gonna drink it? And they're just like, you see a glass, and then you've got the ones who don't really have the physical glass, and they're just like, your glass is half empty, what do you do? Me, I go to the sink and I fill it up, or no wait, I can't have that, so if it's not filtered enough, I go to the refrigerator. I get the pitcher with the filter and I fill it up. And they're like, no, you don't understand the question. And I'm like, no, you don't understand the question. And they think I'm being difficult, but the reality is that this is how I think. The thing is that the question is designed for 2 boxes of people and to categorize people. And if you don't answer in a way that categorizes you, they get mad. And that's the reality of it. And I have literally never held really either opinion. I just am of the opinion that it doesn't really matter, because it matters what you do with what's in the glass. I am a realist. The glass is both half empty and half full. But it also doesn't matter. It's what you do with it. It's what happens. Does someone take that half glass from you? Do you dump it on somebody's head? Or do you sit there like an asshole and leave half a glass of water to waste on a desk, just so that you can have your little object to see what people think? The only thing I thought whenever I saw the glass, I had one who actually asked me, so whenever you see this glass, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And I said, I don't know, maybe you drank it or something? It's a weird question to ask somebody. Even for the paragon of weird people, which is psychiatrists, people who deal with that stuff. Because they can get really weird, because they actually take some of this. It's like dealing with someone who takes a pop culture personality test way too seriously sometimes. Because if you don't really fit into any of the preordained categories, suddenly you're this big mystery that they must unravel, even if you're telling them exactly everything. They're like, no, I must figure it out. I must figure out what you're not saying, even if you're saying everything. Like, I've literally gone in and said everything. And they're still not listening. Because they have to figure out how you fit into these preordained boxes in their minds. They can't handle it that you don't fit in the box, so they try and push you into it. I'm sort of like, I have this stuff pushing up through my skin and it's not to the surface yet. I'm trying to help it get there because I do that because it bugs me. So my immune system is going AWOL. So yay. Not really. I'm a realist. I mean, something's gonna go right, something's gonna go wrong. The glass is both. The glass is never it's never full and it's never empty. You know, there's some bad, some good, and it's all about what you do with it. You can't really blame it on the glass. You sometimes, and if you have the opportunity to fill it up, you definitely should. But like, don't just dump it on somebody's head out of spite. I don't know, I could get deep with this, but I'm not going to. But like, at the same time, I don't think in this sorted box. Why they have this idea that people are supposed to, it's beyond me. Well, actually, it's more like that often psychiatry has ignored common sense. Like, it's only been in like the last 10 years that they even acknowledged that people could actually choose how to think for themselves. Like, yeah, this was actually a thing. It did not acknowledge this. And now I've made things worse by making it red. It's shiny because of the lighting. It's not actually white. I'm just that white. I'm just that pale. So yeah. It's actually not even to the surface yet. I hate it whenever this happens. It doesn't happen that often, but whenever it does, it sucks ass. Because it's not even just a zit or a pimple. It is not like something getting stuck in my pores, like on the surface of my skin. This is literally something forcing its way out and just sort of backing up because my pores aren't big enough to let it. Whenever it comes out under my boobs, I'll actually sit here and yeah, I've actually sat there and legit just squeezed stuff out. It gets disgusting. I don't know what actually causes it, and I don't pretend to know. Right now, it's not happening there. So that's good. But I've had that happen. It sucks. It's kind of gross. And you just sort of wonder, like, where is all this pus even coming from? At least it's white, I guess. Instead of yellow or green, that would be bad. That would indicate a problem. It's just sort of white pus that just comes out of weird places at weird times, and sometimes it can seem random or change spots. But the spots are usually pretty typical. It's not the first time I've had it on my face somewhere. It's usually like around here somewhere. So, I mean, it's not like I don't it's not like it's a mystery as far as like what it's doing. Well, I have speculation for what it's doing, but as far as like I know that if it's not happening in one spot, to expect it in another. And the ones on my face, I actually kind of don't look forward to. I've got some scars from it. Yeah, and I don't wear makeup, so yeah, additional suckage. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. Some of them don't scar, and then some of them, it depends on how it comes out. It's not like a zit though. I can't put something on it and have it go away. In fact, that actually makes it worse. Yeah, that can actually make it worse whenever it finally does push to the surface of my skin. Sometimes putting neosporin on something encourages it to kind of move faster, but as far as I can tell, it's just something pushing through my skin, and it'll come out, and then I'll deal with it for a few days, and then the place that this is happening will change. I don't even know what to do with my body anymore. And some things like the vitamin D pill, I didn't take it today, and I didn't take it last night. Because sometimes I take it at night instead of in the morning. And the bleeding is a little bit lighter, but it's still like super heavy. So apparently that was making it even worse, but then I'm like, but I run low on vitamin D. You need vitamin D, and I clearly had some things in my body that were starting to not work the way that they were supposed to, and like I've been getting actual oil on my face and in my hair, and I wasn't dealing with as much bullshit on my head and all that. And, well, I'm still dealing with it. It's just easier to deal with if, you're getting the amount of oil that your scalp should be producing. And I wasn't getting that at all. Just sort of was there. Yeah, my face didn't really stopped getting any sort of oil. It doesn't really accumulate oil that much. So, yeah. That, coupled with the fact that I started to go back to an issue I haven't had since I was a kid, where, well, I can't say kid. It also happened when I was pregnant, where no matter what I did, everything was dark in color whenever I peed. And that means that as gross as it is to even say that, that can mean that your liver is having some issues. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's the kind that you have to go to the hospital for or anything. Just it means that it's stressing, that it's handling a lot. And vitamin D, well, your body needs that so that your liver can function. If you don't get vitamin D, you can actually go into liver failure. So I was like, okay, solution. I take vitamin D. And it worked. But I also bled so much more, and the reaction is almost entirely different than from the one that I took that I was prescribed before, which didn't even have the absorption that maybe is necessary. That was prescription strength. Like, you can't even buy a vitamin that strong. And it was that way specifically because over a period of time, I just dropped that low with vitamin D. And it wasn't something that I could really help. So I took a pill for a little while. An extra vitamin. One that severely made my stomach upset. And then right now, like, I feel like I actually look fatter, but like my hair tie on my wrist says otherwise. I don't mean like it's talking, I mean it's actually loose. Like, my weight fluctuates, so like in different points it'll get tight, and it'll even like dig in, so I won't even be able to wear, it on my wrist for more than like a few minutes before it gets really uncomfortable. And this, I don't even have to pull it out, and I can slip 2 fingers in there. I just sort of notice with the rest of me that I just kind of get flabbier. And it doesn't fix it, it just gets flabbier. My weight fluctuates, I get flabbier. It doesn't recede. It doesn't recede. The flaps don't recede. So I feel like Jabba the Hutt, and Gina's just like, no, you're sexy. And I'm like, you don't even have your glasses on. And he's like, let me put them on so that I may bask in your beauty. And he says the cheesiest fucking things. But he is the sweetest man in the world. There's that man is sweet as hell. He's as sweet as the sweetest pie in the world. I don't know, I'm trying to think of something sweet. Honey, sugar. No. Sugar hurts my teeth. He's not tooth-hurtingly sweet. He's not fake. He's just warm. And loving and cheesy as fuck. And then and he's also never lied to me, so like I know he's completely serious whenever he says that. Because this is the man who, whenever you ask, do these pants make my butt look big, he'll be like, I'm not answering that. You look beautiful, but that's not what you're asking me. And I don't want to answer, because if I say no, you'll call me a liar, and this is a trap. And this is a trap. You're asking me because you think that so I'll be like, does this accentuate the curves I don't want to accentuate? And he says, I think that you look beautiful. Would I want to walk out of the house in this? He says, probably not. And I said, thank you. But do you like it? He says, I like it. I would like to take it off. And I'm like, so you do like it on me? And he's like, I like it. It makes me want to take it off. Why? Then he gives me this look like, so that I can kiss your ass. Just like, what the fuck? And then we both start laughing, and then he really does bend down and kiss my ass. And I'm just like, what? What if I fart in your face or something? He's like, we all fart. I've farted in your face before, which is actually true. We've known each other for a very long time. So there's not very much that either of us don't know about the other. We've known each other through some fucked up shit. So I actually knew him whenever Lisa was still alive, and we didn't get together until about, let's see, well, Chris wasn't even born until like 2-3 years after, and they weren't together. They weren't even together whenever he was conceived. Yeah. So she actually I'm not going into that in case he wakes up and hears anything. I don't really have anything nice to say about her, so I just won't. So, yeah, there's the thing where we are related. But, like, I did that so I would stop wondering about it, not because I secretly like her, and yeah. She is my older half sister. And neither of us knew that for a very long time, but I know it now. Yeah. It's really weird. But at the same time, I wasn't really surprised either. So, my dad had a lot of kids with a lot of different women. I guess she was the only one I even knew about specifically. I just knew that there were others. I didn't know them at all, like specifically. And I only knew of her because at some point, I guess her moms had talked or something. And yeah. I just kind of overheard a conversation about it and asked some questions and learned some things, and yeah. So Chris is not just my stepson, he is my nephew. Biologically. That could get confusing to think about if I chose to. Yeah. We've been trying still to find his mom, because she supposedly has the information to get him in contact with his sister, and every time she pops up, she always pops out of existence before she can even talk to Chris. She just shows no interest in it. And Chris still asks for her. He still asks for Jazzy, and he still wants to talk to Becky, his mom. He calls me mom, but he makes that distinction that she's mom, she's just another mom. She's real mom, she's the one who gave birth to him. His dad is his real dad. And then there's his other dad, who he talks about, but still, it's been 4 years. You know, he's still, he loves his dad, and he loves me dearly, but, he's still, you don't really lose those connections that you make. You just miss them. It's kind of life. It's what my life was like, and I didn't want that for him or my kids or anything like that. It's one of those things. Mostly he asks for Jazzy. A couple times he's asked what his baby sister's name is, because he had one before everything happened, and he struggles to remember her because they were separated and she was still an infant. It's not all that dissimilar from what me and my brother went through. Except, well, I should say similarly, our relatives kept us separated on purpose. The difference is, he has someone trying to get him in contact with her. But, like, I don't have the information for this. The worker told us that it wasn't our concern back whenever that stuff happened, and it's just a lot. Apparently she was being adopted by an aunt, but yeah. He misses his sister. It's kind of natural, you know? That's what happens whenever you're separated from siblings, you miss them. But he asks for his sister more than he does for Becky. Becky's the woman who gave birth to him. She has snubbed him too many times. He can't even stand to be told that he looks like her anymore. Don't get me wrong, he wants to talk to her. He wants her to show up to things, but we can't even tell him that he shares features with her. Because he won't take it in the, he said, I look like her, not like you. And he got upset about it. He got really upset about it. Because she's not here. And she's not trying to be here. And she's had every opportunity to. And then she's just, I don't understand it. I would literally give my life just to talk to my kids again, to know that they were alive. Just hold them in my arms and know that their skin was warm. That they were alive, that they weren't some cadaver somewhere. To look into their eyes and ask them how they were doing. To be able to discern whether that was the truth or not. I will never understand her. I will never understand Becky. We're absolutely nothing alike. We're nothing alike. What features I got from my dad, Chris and I share enough of. That he's actually been mistaken for being biologically mine. But I have a rounder face from my mom. It's just a different structure as far as those pieces of the structure of my face go. So I have a rounder facial structure even without all this. I hate my thyroid. So it's okay because my thyroid hates me too. So anyway, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? I love him. I love that boy like he's one of mine. But I also respect that he has, someone, and he still needs her to be here. She's just not. Every kid needs their mom. There are people who understand that in this world and people who don't. I understand the damage that it does. And it is heartbreaking. So, yeah. I've said it before previously, and I guess I've said it before in this entry as well. But I don't understand that woman. I would literally I would shorten my life down to seconds. Just to have that chance. Being separated from my kids is a fate worse than death. And what makes it worse is that I didn't even do anything to cause it. And they literally did it because they could. And then proving that was part of how we even got custody of Chris to begin with. How I got it proved. Because there was literally no reason for what happened to us. It was just because somebody could and had opinions and decided to be discriminatory assholes. And this actually does happen, is not uncommon in Arizona. So it's not uncommon anywhere, actually, for that specific thing. Having a mental health diagnosis in this country is a death sentence in that situation. Sorry, I'm trying to untangle my cord. My phone is dying and I'm plugging it in. That would be my computer. My laptop. It is not getting packed till the last minute. I'm keeping that fucker out. So, yeah. Having a mental health diagnosis in this country is a veritable death sentence anytime you go anywhere near family court or anything like that. Because they will literally just make a bunch of predictions and suppositions, and it doesn't matter what the evidence even is or looks like, or even if they have any. And in my case, they didn't. So, yeah. In fact, if you even looked at the evidence, it was actually stacked against them. Even their own stuff contradicted themselves. So, yeah. People who knew me back then, to this day, the couple people who actually handled it well enough to stick around, have said it over and over. You were a good mom. And I don't understand how this happened to you. I don't understand how they could do this. Well, they did. And that's reality. And it's common enough that it's happened to enough people with diagnosis that it's actually pretty common that if you bring this up at a clinic that people go to, and, I've had it happen so many times that they've said, yeah, if I say people with diagnoses are treated less than human, that situation, nobody will disagree with me. In fact, plenty of people agree with me outright. It's because they've seen it. Because they've seen cases of it. They've seen the kids, they've seen the parents. Because people often take their kids in whenever they go. And you see the interactions there. And, you're acquainted with them well enough to know that they're fine. That they have an understanding of this. And just then they do this. And it's terrible. After she lost Chris and his sisters, she went off the deep end. That's not unusual either. I guess we just went off different deep ends. I buried myself in painting. Art is my drug, I guess. She buried herself in drugs. She relapsed. I didn't do that stuff in the first place, so it's probably different for someone who has. Some people don't, though. I've worked with enough people to know that. Done quite a bit of volunteering. It's not official, so I'm never going to get any sort of official credit for it. And that's okay. I think the official stuff sucks anyway. Yes, that jewelry box is still up there. No, I'm not taking it down right now. It'll come down later tonight. There's something in it I still need for... So, yeah, Munchkin in the room right over. Yeah, so has to stay out at least until I get it out and can put the makeup and stuff in it after I'm done painting his face tomorrow. So that's already got a spot slotted for it. I'll probably just take it down later today, but I won't. Well, it's probably just simpler to leave it up there for now. Yeah, just leave it up there. So, because downstairs there's boxes everywhere. So, yeah, a lot of them are just kind of full of stuff. Maybe we should have done that pack room by room thing, but we didn't. So, yeah, most of it's just in the living room. So, yeah.